ready.
I don't know if we're ready or not.
I don't know if you are.
Say what? We
I'm not
ready. We ready. Oh yeah. We ready
There you go.
for this.
This is how we get
All right, I'm
copyrighted.
done.
This is how we get copyrighted.
Damn, I thought I did take care of your Johnsy. Shit.
I
You
hear you.
thought it
Here
was
we
gonna
go.
be,
Like
you
we
thought it
haven't
was gonna
heard that
be me
one
leave
before.
first.
Like we haven't heard that one before. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good Saturday.
What's up, dudes and dudettes? It's Saturday. I feel like I was hitting puberty all over again.
Saturday.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I can see where this is headed. Let me just do a quick.
Yep.
Quick.
Yeah, I think
edit.
the disclaimer is absolutely needed on this one, if I can be honest.
No, I just needed to switch something up real quick because I can already feel the vibe over here.
Oh, I got a vibe. Ooh, I'm down with it. Let's embrace it.
Don't kill his
bring it
vibe.
back
Don't
one
kill his
night.
vibe.
Let's bring it back for one night. Tony Dallas in the house. What's up?
I thought that's what like the Saturday. Yeah, I was just getting in it.
I mean,
Let's
I was
do
about
it.
to bring out my Macho Man glasses.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you look so hard in those though, dude. We just look like school kids.
They're
With,
so
like,
aggressive.
Hanging out with their cool older brother, trying to pretend like they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool
Got
uncle.
good vipers.
So
this one's going to be interesting.
yeah.
John,
Roll us out, Tony. Roll us out, buddy. Figure it out.
No, I don't think I need to be the expert in the narrative. I think you.
Nope. Don't ever. Okay. I'm not an expert. I'm an expert at being myself.
First off, this is a show for entertainment purposes only, and there are a lot of fun things we like to dive into in our little chats, and we like to do some exploration things. And Damon and Johnsy like to play this little game of what can we try to convince Tony of this week?
Wow.
And both of you are guilty. Damon, don't be playing innocent.
I will pull the receipt and show 3/4 of these messages come from Tony Dallas.
Yeah, I like the gaslight. That's not. So it's like.
But time we send something like, guys, this is a little too
we're
much,
getting
guys.
gaslighted right now.
Send you guys videos that pertain to what I hear in our conversations. So that's why I send them. I'm just sending them for you to gather more data.
Which your algorithm that's showing it to you, sir.
No, it's because you guys send videos. Now my algorithm, I watch them.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
It is.
You have to research it out, start sending it out, and that's what algorithm starts feeding.
No, no, it's not true.
You said too much in front of her, Tony. You said too much in front of her. You gotta be careful what you say in front of Siri, man. You gotta be careful.
I will say she probably was listening to our conversations. That bitch.
And by probably, definitely.
Yeah. And
I mean, Snowden proved it, but whatever.
One of the theories that is that like Devil's Tower and other massive mountains that have a oddly completely flat top were once giant trees. But what we've recently discovered and put it all together, not discovered, but one thing we've recently discussed is
rediscovered.
Yes, it was brought to our attention, like, oh yeah, that there's actual biblical verses that back up some of these claims. So the point of this show is to explore this theory, present the facts and the theories that are with it, have a fun little discussion of it, and leave it up for you guys to decide. That's the point of the show. I think that's fair. That's fair. So let's get up to 30,000 feet and do a high-level flyover of the conspiracy of the giant trees right here on the Dude Network.
Wow.
And we'll just get, straight there.
Wow.
At that altitude, we'll be able to
just fly
cruise right over top. Just
won't even have to worry about it. It'll just be nice and on the same level. You know what I mean? Crazy.
No curvature, no nothing.
But allegedly, even at 30,000 feet, you would have flown right into this tree because it touched the sky.
Mm-hmm. What is it? This tree particular, though, or is it just a tree in general?
Or what kind of tree was it?
Nay, multiple.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's more than one tree. I mean, are you just saying that what you're finding on verse-wise is talking about this one tower?
Well, that was the only one I can think of off the top of my head. I know there's other out there, but I have no idea on the specifics because I'm still very much a newbie into this wild world. So I just pick up stuff as I go. But I know they're like all over the world, is my understanding. And it's not just like, that's Devil's Tower, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. We could agree that kind of looks like it could be.
What's wild is this is not, you go look it up. There's several reports of people rock climbing mountains like this. And they talk about it openly afterwards. They're like, dude, it's like nothing I've ever climbed before. It had like grains and looked like I was on bark. And they get up to the top, which you could see. Let me see if I can find that real quick while we're sitting here talking. That there's rings. It's like rings.
Oh, well,
the tree sort of.
Well, Jonesy's finding that even right here. It says in 2017, it was stated that the Wyoming State Parks Department were conducting photographic seismic readings below the tower when they discovered an incredibly large perforated or petrified root system below the tower.
Whoa! I'm sorry. What?
A petrified root system below the tower?
No, that can't be possible. Why would a mountain have root system?
Yeah.
That can't be. Well, isn't there like a study done that someone tested it? It tested like for like a silica tree, like or some kind of.
Oh no! You're really? Are we going there? We're going there.
No, I don't want to go there.
That's a little deeper. So let's just stick with
Okay, 30,000 feet. Remember, 30,000. There's been so many videos. But didn't someone like test it and it came back? It looked like wood.
So there's this there's all these alternate history theories of like whatever. Oh, there's so much stuff has been hidden from us. This is a mountain when it looks like a tree. Like everything about it's a tree, except for just people say no, it's a mountain. And the reason that all that stuff is so big and was able to grow so big is because what you just said. Thank you, Damon. That's the picture I was looking for. And they were silica based instead of carbon like we are in the tree and everything is now. And like it was oxygen rich environment, all this stuff, blah blah blah. So everything was able to grow like that, and it wasn't carbon based. So I just find it so interesting that there's this alternative history theory that then gets scientifically proven because a mountain has a root system that's been petrified. Yeah, I mean, come on, Ed.
But I thought mountains were when glaciers put together, or where tectonic plates came together and pushed up. So, you mean to tell me they didn't push together and come out perfectly even?
No.
Huh. Yeah, and just that one, that one little anomaly, like just
that one.
Just anyway, Damon, pull up the photo. I want to see the photo. Pull it up on screen. I'll show the people. As I always tell my clients, I just present the information, you decide.
I mean, but then you can go this direction. Yeah. Oops, excuse me. I'm gonna click a button over here.
That's kind of crazy.
That's not Devil's Tower, though. That's a different one, but I see where you're going with it.
You guys are just making that up. It's just.
Okay.
Just.
Just
it's an old coinky dink, Yeah, it's like a cloud looking like a dinosaur. Doesn't make it a dinosaur. Oh boy!
Dang it, son of a gun! Hold on, I'll be here in just 1 second.
So one thing, I'll bring up one point here while you guys are bringing up the next wave of examples, because we talked about Bible verses.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look, hold on. If I go right here, you guys can see my mouse, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Moving. So look right here down at this part of the tree stump.
Okay.
All these little, and then I mean,
yeah.
This part right here looks a lot. I don't know. It's just it's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. But yeah, Tony, you were saying there was some another direction you were.
Yeah. If you're watching at home and you got your Bible laying around, turn it to Daniel chapter 4, verse 11 through 12, where this passage describes a dream of a giant tree that, in quotations, grew large and strong. Its top touched the sky, and it was visible to the ends of the earth. Its leaves were beautiful, its fruit abundant, and in it was food for all.
Food for
Seems
all.
like a big tree.
Hey, it goes on to say,
well, until that curvature kicks in, I mean, so we can also interpret that as you could even put that into the flat earth conspiracy, because if you could see it from both sides of the earth. I think it's funny how it's both sides. Isn't that funny? Both sides, like left, right.
So it's funny how you said what you said about what was it that they found the silica petrified root system underneath the tower? I'll just pull this up for reference. He spoke very loudly and said, "Cut down the trees and cut off its branches, strip off its leaves and scatter its fruit. Let the animals under the tree run away, let the birds in its branches fly away, but leave the stump and its roots in the ground."
Which book's that?
That's the same one. That's just verse 14 and 15.
Oh, so it keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that something?
Weird. It's pretty wild, dude. It's pretty wild. And then when you
we've talked about it on here before. Like, what if it's true? What does it change in our lives? Nothing. We
backpedal now. You can backpedal.
No, but it does upend, like, makes you question everything else that we're supposed to believe and be told.
Well, here's the thing. I disagree with the way you say that. Like, if it's true, what does that change for tomorrow? Like, personally, directly, like, is it going to change how I live my day tomorrow? No. Yeah. But it absolutely changes everything, because if that's true, if those are really trees and people know about it, then why don't we know our true history?
Yeah, I mean, it does make, I will say, it would change, like, your mindset of, like, what else am I supposed to question that I was told to shut up about?
Right.
So, yeah, I will tell you, it would change, like, if it would give, like, the public momentum of, like, oh, so we're not all nuts. We're not just some silly conspirators. Yeah, I can see it.
Right. And then, then you start, okay, well, if that's true, let me look at something else. And then you like, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. And then, because look, dude, so they got these huge trees allegedly, right? We've covered giant beans, did a whole like 3-part series on it, or 2-part series on it at least.
Well, we also discovered a tomato growing.
Right. So, which is like currently still happening.
Yeah.
And
because what would block out harmful UV rays? Probably massive trees.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did on that tomato plant. They filtered all the light.
Right. But they're also using something called frequency. And let me just tiptoe back a little bit. There was.
You mean there's more than AM and FM frequencies?
I'm gonna hammer home the bells. Where are all the bells? everywhere, every town had church bells, school bells, bells. You don't hear a one anymore, hardly ever. And even if you see one, you never hear a ding ding. Ah, man. And now we have nothing but small things. It's like,
so what's funny is we actually grew up beside a church, and the bell still rings every Sunday out at Dad's farm.
right now.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get done. I was going to say, yeah.
And the altar boy at Renner's Church. It's a St. Paul church.
Probably
St.
why
Paul.
there's such good farmland there, bro.
Hey, we're recording.
Yes, we are, Tony.
My son just jumps out of the bathroom. He's like, "Ah!" That's like, okay,
gotcha.
But yeah, they ring it every weekend.
Yeah, this one still is one of the areas that we cover. It's the same way. It's like on the hour.
Oh.
It rings on the hour. And I want to say lunchtime, about 12, it'll play like a little tune. It'll play like a little mini song.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's great.
No,
That's
yeah,
really
absolutely.
great. That's really great because there's like you can look up images all over the internet of like mass graves of bells. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
You're right.
You know, and the other thing is like we know the Earth has an
Go ahead.
low magnetic frequency, and so you just wonder like how is that playing in tune with the other frequencies?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's with the silica-based stuff, man? Like how are we got a petrified root system below a mountain.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, here's
there's a wild documentary. This guy, this like anonymous guy, not like anonymous, not the freaking Guy Ritchie mask, you know, like anonymous. You don't know who he is.
Right.
Put this huge documentary together called "What on Earth Happened" or something like that, and that's where I first got. Yeah, you're good. Really introduced to this kind of stuff. And it was not like, oh, look what they're hiding from you. It was like, yo, I was coming across this. I saw this. This is freaking nuts, you know. And it's kind of hard to unsee.
Yeah, I will say, like, once you really now, what's this one?
I mean, dude,
it's actually in South America. It's Mount.
Look at the size of that. That's a dirt if it was a tree.
Roraima. But yeah, that's straight from South America in Venezuela area.
Yeah.
There's also flat top mountain in Colorado if we haven't seen it. Again.
Here's
one. Top 10 tabletop mountains around the world.
Oh, there we go.
Table Mountain, Cape Town, South Africa.
Yeah, that's the other huge one.
Mount Roraima. I think you just did one over in Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana. It's about 500. This mountain formed roughly 1.7 to 2 billion years ago, making it the oldest rock formations on Earth. Allegedly.
Huh.
Its flat summit spans 12 square miles. Next one would be Ayan Tepui in Venezuela. And that one's got a waterfall coming out of it.
Yeah, I
text you this list.
Is it 10 Incredible or Tourtopia.com? Is it Tourtopia?
No, it's pandotrip.com.
Because I got Mount Connor.
This is like Mount Asgard in Colorado and Canada. It's one of the most unique flat-top mountains in the world, surrounded by glaciers and the harsh Arctic tundra. It is the only twin-peaked table mountain. Two of them.
They even got one. There's one in Antarctica.
Branch out or anything when it grew, would it?
There's one in Antarctic on the Antarctic Peninsula called Brown Bluff.
I mean, how did they get video footage of that?
So here's what's funny: we are on 2 different top 10 lists, and we're getting different mountains. That's how many of them are flat top mountains. Deborah Damo in Ethiopia.
I mean, look at that, dude.
Yeah.
That's the Twin Peak one. That's the one in Canada. Okay, yeah, that's the one that's also they also call that one Mount Asgard, I think.
Yeah, Mount Asgard, yes.
Okay. So where that one matched out.
Then you did the
Mount Connor in Australia is a big old bastard.
Here's Australia. Which one is it?
Mount Connor.
Okay, yeah, that's up at the top right here.
The Grand Mesa in Colorado. Iraq, aka the original Holy Land, Amedi, Middle East.
And here's one in Iceland.
Here's one in Ireland, Ben Bulben.
Here's another one in Ethiopia.
The Great White Throne, Zion, USA. Where the hell is that? Oh, it's made of white Navajo sandstone with its flat top and steep cliffs.
And it says Zion. That's in Utah.
Yeah, Zion, USA.
Here's a Canyonlands. This is another one in Utah.
Dude, we just rattled off like 20 of these things. That's crazy. And look at all the waterfalls coming out of them. That's interesting for another part of this to wrap it up.
So the funny thing about that is that the theory is that the roots went so deep that they went into all the underground aquifers, and so they would never run out of water, and that's why there's waterfalls coming out of it. It's like when you cut a really wet tree, it just leaks everywhere.
And
things that make you go,
I tell you what, there's a tree like that that's like the white sycamore tree. It just retains water. When you cut one down, like it's so much juice in it that you have to let it dry out forever before you can work with it or use it.
Yeah, my dad
warping stuff.
In his front yard, I helped him years ago take down a couple trees. When we were cutting them with a chainsaw, it looked like we were using a cement saw, like you have to spray water into. How much water liquid would just?
Yeah.
I mean, we'd have to change our clothes like every 10 cuts because you'd just be drenched. It was insane.
Could you imagine exposing like pulling out a whole sequoia, roots and all, and seeing like how massive that root system would be? Wouldn't that be kind of cool to see?
I don't know that you can.
No, there's no way. But it'd be cool.
No,
to see.
I know, but those trees, like their roots start growing together.
I know.
In forests like that, and it's like a network that all.
Could you imagine like X-raying out all like where all you saw was the roots on like a scan though? Like let's say that would be cool.
Well, allegedly they say it matches the like the branch structure.
Fascinating.
Because I don't know. I'm not an arborist. I've never, but so that I've always heard that as far out as branches go, that's only ever as far out as the roots go, which I have definitely seen that not true. I've seen roots go way farther.
Right.
Maybe that only comes into effect once they reach a certain size. Because maybe what trees that we're talking about are, I don't know. It probably depends. No, that's got to depend on the type of tree.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because on like a willow tree, it grows in flat land. It's not going to go deep because in wetland. I'm sorry, willows grow in like creeks and stuff.
Yeah, they don't have to go deep to find the water, right? So,
but yeah, So like their root systems don't need to go deep because they're just surrounded in an abundance of water. So yeah, I'd say that'd be species specific. Hey, what do you think about all this?
Oh, I'm still looking up something from what y'all was saying a minute ago.
I just think it's just a fun theory to talk about, again at a high level, because it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. And it's also cool that there's like Bible verses that kind of back up some of these things.
I literally sent a video.
The Bible is compromised of a king that it's documented that not all the books made the final cut. So it's like, what was left out of any of those? Like the Dead Sea Scrolls and everything like that. There's so much ancient literature and libraries that didn't make it through the test of time, and it's just we don't know what information was eliminated. And then you have to ask, why was it eliminated? Was it honestly an accident? It's kind of weird that none of it would make it through. And then the question is, if it was concealed, why? What's the big deal that we had massive trees on this earth once upon a time?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it leaves more questions than answers for me.
In the chat, I'm sending you a video on the waterfall, like the theory on that, like a little video. You'll get it. I sent it in the purification chat, but I'll make it a little easier.
Well, didn't you send a different one?
Huh?
Did you send it earlier?
Yeah, in the
the
algorithm purification chat.
Between the of our past and some of the
it shows like old trees just
when the root system
gushing out of water
level, and you cut down the tree, it starts pouring out water.
Is this copywriting? No.
Much like you see coming out the tops and the sides of these massive ancient trees. And perhaps that's what caused the Great Flood. Once these massive trees,
the Great Flood, man, and think about it.
Could you imagine all of the water gushing out all across this realm, all at once?
So think about it. We're talking about trees. If they were trees, we've seen gushes coming out of like trees like this big. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine a tree that was like 26 square miles? How, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
Like 25 tabletop mountains. You know what? Hang on. Let's do this.
Do this.
Last thing. How many tabletop mountains are there in the world?
Bing, bing.
But let's not forget the other ones that aren't tabletops.
True.
There are at least 108 mountains on Earth with elevations of 7,200 meters above that. Yeah. So at least 108.
Interesting.
That may or may not have been right. It was AI, so we'll just
usually pretty close.
Yeah.
Fact check it and leave it in the comments.
There's another. Was it down in Southern California or Arizona or something somewhere, where there was all these like literally like roundish rocks, all laid out like it looked like a tree had fallen, but it was rocks. And then there was all these perfectly cut marks, like someone sawing a log, but it's all petrified. And they, I can't remember what's. I'll have to find that one to send you guys that. It's just interesting. And it was like the same thing. Someone decided to start messing with it like they did and found that root system underneath Devil's Tower. Like,
That's fast.
But
That's
like
wild,
I said a while ago. I mean, what is it that we're not being told now?
Right.
But that's with everything.
Hey, with that being said, folks, hey, again, just remember, most important thing is the sentence at the top in cursive. We put it in cursive because we know a bunch of you can't read it. Anyway, Small joke. It was.
You kids don't know what it's like to learn cursive in elementary.
Right. Hopefully that was fun for you guys. It was fun for us. Just remember,
it was
question everything.
I think question that shit next time. Tomorrow, another foodie show. Be there or be a loser.